Yeah, and I just wanted to come back and say, because I'm about to leave the house. As you can see, I got my jacket on and everything. So I mean, I'm about to get up out of here. But I was in the bathroom just a little while ago. I just uploaded the video I did before this, or the first video I did. This is actually the third one altogether. And then, like I said, there was obviously a part two to that video that I forgot to do because I ended the first one. But I just wanted to come back and say that I was in the bathroom and I believe God spoke to me and said, you know, the reason a lot of people don't get victory, I'm not, well, he said, if you, like, if people come to God and they want help on something, like forgiveness or whatever, like something, I'm not talking about something like, people, when people come to God and, for financial reasons. I mean, sure, you can go to God for financial reasons if you want to, but have a relationship with him first. I mean, I think a lot of people. I don't know. I'm not trying to pretend what a lot of people do out here, but a lot of people I could have just imagined, try to get rich off God. They say, "Hey God, give me this, give me that." I mean, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I believe God spoke to me and said, a lot of people can't get past certain issues, whether it be anything. I don't know, depression, anxiety, unforgiveness, or whatever, because people don't give him the situation. In order for God to help someone, that person has to completely release it to God and say, you know what? And that's not always easy. That can be a process because, like I said, we're prideful people. We're born into this world. I can't stress that enough. We're prideful people, and that's one thing we all have in common is the seed of pride. That's why this race is so messed up and divided. And what I mean by divided is like, we're against God because of that one thing that we're all born into, which is pride. We all inherit that same thing. I don't care where you come from or who you think you are or how smart you think you are or how special you think you are or how good of a person you think you are or what you believe or how strong of a Christian you are or how, whatever. We all have pride, and pride is what divides us from God, you know? And in order for, so like I said, I mean, that can be a process. It's just instilled in us, but then God will help you to just, release that to him. He'll start to open up your eyes to other things and just let you know that, hey, like these people are my creation. They might not be my children, or they might be my children, but you know what? They're my creation, and you know, so just if you want to go to God for help, release the issue to God and let God deal with it the way it's meant to be dealt with. Because you might not turn out the way you want it to, but I got something better for you. If you're the type of person where you just like, I don't know, me, I just want things. I'm just an original type of dude. I really don't want things my way. I would like things to turn out my way, but what I really want, what I'm really more interested in, is just the kind of the person I always really was, to tell you the truth. I just want things to happen the way that they're supposed to happen, not the way that they just, it's just whatever the way the cards fall. No, no, no. I want it. I just want things to happen the way they're supposed to happen. Not the way I want them to happen, not the way she wants it to happen, or they want it to happen, or no. I want them to happen the way they're supposed to happen. I'm just maybe I mean maybe you're different. A lot of people are. I mean, there's some people out there like me, but I just happen to be the type of person where I just want the situation to happen the way it's supposed to, and it will never happen the way it's supposed to unless we release it to God. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. I believe God spoke to me. When I say speak, obviously I don't mean audible. I mean, not that God can do whatever he wants to. I mean, there's people out there who I'm sure have heard God's voice audibly, really. Why not? But I'm not talking about audibly. When God speaks to you, you just have to kind of train your ear, in a sense of the word. You kind of have to get a sense for it. But I believe he really spoke to me. He said, you know what? And I felt led to do this video, and I'm also going to post this on Instagram and Twitter because I think a lot of people go to God for help and they really have strong intentions, but there's one basic thing that people just always forget to do. You know, we want to ask God for help, but yet we have a firm grip on, you know, like in order for somebody to help you, you have to let go. You have to release it. You can't just say I want help but still hold on to it. You have to release it, you know? And that just means release all of it. You know, like God might not give you, you know, like when somebody does you wrong, because of pride, we all want, you know, we all want to see the other person hit the floor as hard as we did. We want the other, that's called being vengeful. God's not going to reward that. God is not a hitman. He's not going to sit there and, you know, do your dirty work. You know, that person might fall. That person very well might fall. They might. Even harder than they brought you down, they might fall. God is a just God, but you know what? Maybe they won't. And you know, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. There's always a price to pay. And what I mean by maybe they won't fall, they'll be dealt with. Don't get me wrong. They will. God is not going to sit there and let somebody do somebody wrong. You know, like if you hand God a situation, you say, God, just take the situation for me. You know, especially when you're in a relationship with Him, when He's when He's your father and you're His child, He will, you know, He will make sure that you're taken care of. You know, but He's not going to sit there and punch somebody in the face to, you know, divine speak. Like, He's not going to sit there and do your dirty work. You can't sit there and say, hey, God, I'm going to release this person to you. Make sure that they don't, you know, make sure that you know, their life is ruined. Like, God is not going to honor that. You know, that's not an approachable attitude. That's, you know, I mean, you're basically, you know, God is not your hitman, and He's never going to be, you know. So when you release something to God, He will help you. But, you know, and that person will be dealt with. They will be dealt with. But it's gonna be there. It's gonna turn out the way it's meant to be. You know, the way it's meant to. And the only way a situation is gonna turn out the way it's meant to be turned out, you know, is if God does it Himself. And it might take months, it might take days, hours, minutes, seconds, or it might take years, decades. But you know what? And to tell you the truth, it might not even happen in this lifetime. But don't forget, this life is only just a vapor. That's it. It's a vapor. That's it. Like, we are here for such a sliver of time. There's something beyond this world called eternity. And if that person, you know, doesn't have to answer in this lifetime, they will. They will. I'm not saying you should ever wish anything bad on anybody, because don't do that either. Don't ever do that. Don't ever wish anything bad upon anybody. You know, because that might come back around to you. That might skip that person, and kind of like a boomerang. You know, you kind of throw a boomerang in the air, and eventually it kind of turns around and knocks you in the forehead. Yeah, well, that's what you do when you wish stuff bad on people. Don't ever do that, man. You know, just give it to God and let Him deal with it. And don't expect God to sit there, like I said, at the risk of being repetitive. God is not going to sit there and just, you know, start. He's not a hitman. He's not some gangster that you're going to walk up to and say, I'm going to give you a couple $1,000. Go murk this person. God is not like that. God, honestly, what God is going to do, God will punish that person. But when God does that, He does it with a purpose. God doesn't, like I said, God's not an alcoholic father who's gonna come home and just, you know, be a jerk to everybody just because. God doesn't do that, and God's not gonna do that for me. He's not gonna do that for you. So you just, you know, we got to get to the point where we just get beyond the vengeful attitude. Get okay, you know, this person hurts you, okay, but in you know, you just have to get beyond that and just, you know what, they hurt me, but really, what am I supposed to do about it? Just sit here and get angry about it and lash out at them? Well, you lash out at them, that's going to get you in trouble. You know, they might be hurt, but you're going to hurt yourself too. You might even lose your freedom. And, you know, really, I mean, that person is basically just trying to bring you down to their level anyways. They don't care about you. That's why they did it in the first place. And the reason people do stuff like this is because, you know, they have needs that need to be met. They're hurt. Hurt people. You know, hurt people. And you know, you need to love your enemies. Don't love what they do to you. Don't ever condone what they do to you. It's wrong. And it always will be wrong. But you can still hold somebody accountable without being angry and bitter, and you know, still love that person at the same time. And that's pretty much what I'm waking up to now, you know. And that's not going to happen without God, man. We just don't have it in us. We just don't. I have a long way to go, trust me, but there's a God up there. Have a nice day.